Welcome back to The Charismatic Voice. This song explores the universal yearning for the comforts of home and also those cherished memories of childhood and family, assuming that those are good, of course. And this also happens to be a song by the Cranberries that I'm not familiar with, so I'm very excited to see how they've set these incredible lyrics to music. Let's get to it. Just right from the beginning, that is so catchy, what she's singing right now. It's so catchy, and knowing that this has got a lot of themes about childhood, I like the way it just almost is like a kid going do 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 do. It's really sweet. What a beautiful, beautiful way to sort of loop us into this simple yet it's just like it's already a memory in my mind. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, back to the beginning. I love the way that Dolores has so much intensity in this quiet sound. Before I analyzed Zombie, I'd heard a few Cranberry songs, including Zombie, in passing, and I got this impression that it was so much lighter, and it really took getting into the song, getting into her voice to suddenly go, oh my goodness, it's so packed with emotion. There's so much intensity. And I love the way she uses her vibrato in this section. It just has this little shake at times that makes it feel even more earnest. It's a really, really fantastic, soft, yet intense sound. I'm loving the imagery, by the way. We'll talk about that later. The way she has this hush in her sound, meaning that there's like overflowing air in it. If you build the air up underneath the vocal folds a whole bunch and you try and hold it back with more closure, you get a louder sound. But instead, she's actually kind of letting it tumble over, which gives it more air, that hush-like quality, and also allows for it to stay pretty soft overall. Yeah? There we go. I just love that extra layer of harmony that she's putting in. It's so beautiful. And it's coming in and out and in and out. It's almost like there are layers to the memories that she's talking about. And the way that this is shot is just gorgeous. I like the black and white sort of approach because that says to me older memories with like black and white photos. And then you see so many just shots of people in deep thought or just being human. I feel that each of these individuals have connection that's being portrayed in the film. And that human connection is the thing that I think draws us back to home the most. Back one more time. Like, seeing the lights go by. Oh, that's so interesting. Is that JFK in the background? Huh. I'm curious why that's there. There's a family photo that's back there that absolutely reminds me of a couple family photos that I took with my extended family growing up. And these pictures along the wall, I do think that's JFK. Whoa. I don't know. Maybe that's nostalgia for JFK. Possibly. There's a lot of meanings that could have. I love the swells that she puts into her vocal expression. And it started with that hush of the sound, right? That the sort of airiness bubbling over at one point. And then when she swells, a lot of times it's not just a swell in dynamics, meaning she's not just getting louder, but she's also adding to that closure and she's creating a sound that gets less of the hush. So it's changing that texture, that timbre of the voice. So it becomes a little more pointed. It's like it starts out like this and then it goes whoosh. So cool. So cool. And I think it's very much indicative of emotional surges. It's such a cute face. Like, that is so interesting, that surge right there. Partly because not only do we have that additional closure that's happening, but the way she's going into a really almost overdone R coloring there. And she molds her lips around it in a way that is like overdoing a country R. So fascinating. Okay, let's do that again. Same thing there where she leaned into the R of care. And there's a thing that we'll often talk about in vocal pedagogy, which is the onset. And that's the moment that the air starts to go past your vocal folds and your vocal folds start going, oh, wacka, wacka, wacka. And they create a sound. They create a pitch there. So that moment of coordination and pitch creation, that's called the onset. And sometimes people will talk about an offset, which is the moment that pitch creation stops. It's fascinating to me. It's most important for vocal efficiency that you get a good onset, that you coordinate that really well. But it's interesting how she's playing with the offset, which is often an area that people don't focus on as much in vocal technique. But she almost will she'll do those swells and almost bark off of it just a tiny bit. That leans into that kind of yodel. Some people were calling it keening, this sound that sometimes she'll lean into a lower register in her voice and then flip up. That offset almost sounds like she's going in that direction, but doesn't always get there. It's just a fascinating stylization, and it's so deliberate. Right there, she had it. I'm hearing it more and more where she pushes in to the end of a note and she flips up just a tiny bit. Okay, I'm so excited about the nitty-gritty of the technique. I need to go back and just hit play for a bit and get more of the big picture of the song. It's all really exciting. Does anyone care? it's so interesting how she has repeated elements and the way she weaves that into melody. It feels casual and natural the way she's delivering these emotions and this story. I Does anyone care was one of the lines that really caught me in there. I was like, whoa, does anyone care? Whoa. But there's also this beautiful idea essentially of seizing life if you can. And I love the way at that moment the song opened up. It felt like it expanded and was encouraging, as if you could still grasp that feeling that you had as a child, that the world was at your fingertips. I'm gonna go back one more time, actually a little further, because I wanna feel that again. It is fascinating to hear some of the weaving of the sounds here. There is a counter melody that keeps coming up in her voice. And there's also, it almost sounds like a reed instrument in the background, also that's providing a lot of additional instrumental texture. But then she has backing vocals, ones that are really harmonizing with her lead, that periodically they come in and out and in and out. I think that she's just using them to give emphasis to specific moments right now. Though I noticed those can be used to make it feel more expansive, a little more free and open. But also she'll just lean into a bigger and more broad sound in her lead, is when also when she wants to be expansive. It's just crazy to me how many different elements she's using to pull more expression into the song. I'm going to try and pay more attention to when that counter melody is coming in, if it has anything to do with specific lyrics, and also to try and understand more when exactly those backing harmonies are coming in. They're super delicious every time. She told me when I was out there, my father, he liked me, so I didn't care. Understand what I become. It's not nearly as dark as Zombie is, but somehow they've brought so much intensity to this feeling of nostalgia, even though it doesn't feel like we're going hardcore or something like that. It's just they've captured nostalgia and brought it into some simpler lyrics, some simpler instrumentation, melodies as well. And I'm amazed by how full my heart feels from this song versus how much of a gut punch Zombie was. They feel extremely different, yet obviously have this kind of intensity, this ability to communicate so much emotion in common. Gosh, this has been really fun. Really fun to dive into this. So right now, it sounds like the backing harmonies aren't necessarily for emphasis of a specific word or lyric. It sounds like they're musically there to propel us into the next phrase, because they're always happening at the very end of a phrase. It gives us a little surge of emotion, like she continues to do in her lead vocal. Let's keep going. Oh, and there's that counter melody that I was talking about down in the bottom. This came up earlier when she was singing about her father. I remember that was one of the lyrics. It almost seems like this counter melody could really go anywhere. It just seems like somebody musing about the past. So I'm not sure that there's a specific placement other than maybe a musical one once again, but we'll figure that out.
People everywhere sing something better than I am. I miss you. I miss 'cause I liked it. 'Cause I liked it when I was out there. Do you know this? Do you know you did not find me? You did not find. Does anyone care?
Just wanted to point out that the breaths she's taking, again, are often for emphasis rather than actually needed for vocal technique. I love it when a singer is not a slave to their breath and instead they're using it as just another emotive vehicle. She really uses it as a way to build up some feelings of extra, maybe even like a frantic kind of emotion, but she's not using it in a way that is needed for her to sing the next phrase.
'Cause I liked it when I was out there. Do you know this? Do you know you did not find me? You did not find. Does anyone care?
That's also a really great example of some of those offsets where she is going into this slight yodel mechanism in her throat where she's it starts to lean into a lighter, thinner engagement essentially of the vocal folds as she's coming off the sound. That's a cool technique.
You did not find me. You did not find.
Right there.
Does anyone care? Unhappiness was when I was young and we didn't give a damn. 'Cause we were raised to see life as fun and take it if we can.
I love that so many of these images with the nostalgia are ones that are not rich with any sort of worldly possessions. The whole band is emphasizing that childhood and the simplicity of it is something that's made in human connection and in fun. And I just really appreciate that. You don't have to have every single toy in the world to have a really freaking great childhood. I came from an orchard, a farm. I grew up on this like little tiny rural, like it was a very, very simple childhood and it was glorious. And I have so many fond memories. Oh, this song gets me.
Does anyone care? 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 Does anyone care?
I honestly feel a little shaken off by this repetitive, does anyone care? Does anyone care? I'm like, yeah, I care, I care, I care. Why does she continue to ask, does anyone care? I'm not sure if I understand that just yet, but I hope if you're with me in the live premiere, let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation about that. Maybe the repetitive asking is to get people to say, yes, I care, yes, I care, yes, I care, over and over. And it also might have to do with some very deep-seated sadness that Dolores has of just wondering if people care how much she misses her simple childhood now that she's a big artist. Right? Well.
She held me when I was out there. My father, he liked me. He
so much R. I think I've heard this on the radio before because that doo doo, it just feels familiar. When I first heard it here, I was like, oh, that's so catchy. And I think it might have been catchy because I'd heard it somewhere before. That it's sticky, it's really easy for me to hook into right away. And that's actually what it is. It's a hook, meaning it's a part of a song that gets in you and you're gonna keep singing it back all the time. It's just gonna be stuck. It's an earworm. That's a really, really good earworm. It's so cute how childlike it feels. Oh my gosh. There's so many elements to the song that are really fantastic. Okay, I'll keep going. I love the like simple, just subtle swells of strings in the background. I love the extra swells and the vocals too. I just wanted to point out in there, there's a lot of extra, very subtle elements in the instrumental underneath this super hooky vocal that make it even more full of emotion. There's that string swell. More string swells and vocal swells. So beautiful. Oh. Huh. I love that image of the birds flying away at one point in the end here. It felt like maybe that was symbolic of the band going off and becoming famous, but still holding to these simple roots, just human connection, simple joys of life. I think that's just a wonderful, wonderful message. And I know it's a season when many people are thinking about family and comforts of home. And I hope that many of you will listen to this and just celebrate those moments in life when you've had a wonderful, inspirational human connection and the way that that makes such a brilliant, strong memory. It's a little imprint in your life that you can always come back to. I love nostalgia. If you want to see some more songs that celebrate nostalgia, check out this playlist over here, and may you fall more in love with music every day.